Hi, my name is Cold Bear and this time I've made you a list of 10 indie RPG games which cost less than 10 euros on Steam Winter Sale right now. Those are not the most known games, but they are great in their own way, so this list may show you something new, who knows. Let's start with Pyre. This is a party-based RPG in which you lead a band of exiles to freedom through ancient competitions spread across a vast mystical purgatory. Here you will find a campaign mode where you will never be forced to lose progress. That's interesting because whether you win or fail, your journey still continues. The interactive narrative is expressed through a story that no two players will experience in quite the same way. On top of the single-player campaign, Pyre features a local two-player versus mode, where you can play against a friend or CPU opponent, which is way more realistic companion in these times, and probably at all times, if you know what I mean, you lovely friendless schmuck. So, here you can choose your party from 20 different characters and dive into battle. This game has basically two modes of gameplay. First is the battles, which makes your heart beat faster, and let's be fair, that's probably only cardio exercise you do, and also slow, text-heavy sections with very little player input, so you often lose that combat readiness when you deal with those scenes, and most of us play games like this not for the text walls, but for the great action. Well, this game has both, so it's up to you. Underrail. This is an old-school, turn-based isometric role-playing game that focuses on exploration and combat. Underrail is set in a distant future when life on the Earth's surface has long gone and the remnants of humanity now dwell in the Underrail, a vast system of metro station states that it seems are the last bastions of a fading race. Where did I hear that? Oh yeah, Metro games! Here you take control of one of the denizens of such station state whose life is about to become all that much more interesting and dangerous as you are caught in the middle of conflicting factions of the Underrail as they violently struggle to survive in the harsh underground environment. Game will take about 60 hours of your boring life, so it's a decent storyteller, but I should warn you that it is no joke. Game is hard and you will struggle a lot in certain situations, not knowing what to do next, fighting some super hard enemies or stuck in one place without any clues. So be ready to fill your browser's history not only with big-boobed MILFs of every kind, but also with questions about this game. Transistor. Like Pyre, it's made by the same company who made the critically acclaimed game Hades, so the graphics style and gameplay may look familiar to some of you, because Hades is a great game. Sadly, it's more expensive, so it's not in this list. Transistor is a sci-fi themed action RPG that invites you to wield an extraordinary weapon of unknown origin as you fight through a stunning futuristic city. That weapon is obviously very heavy, or maybe it's made out of plastic and you are just weak. Maybe your mama never gave you potato salad and marinated herring when you were little. In reviews, people are praising great music of the game, but often bashes the combat mechanics, where you stop the action to take actions, and then you unpause the game to continue the battle. I don't know about that. I like similar combat from the famous Knights of the Old Republic games, so at least for me, everything is fine in that field. Darkwood. This is a survival horror from a top-down perspective that is quite terrifying to play. Well, at first you may think,
what is so terrifying in this? I can barely see things. They are so small.
You're so naive, so innocent. This game is all about immersion, and it will drag you in so hard you won't be able to escape. And also, it will grow some hair on your balls, or whatever you have there instead. By day, you explore the randomly generated, ever-sinister woods, scavenge for materials, craft weapons, and discover new secrets. And by night, you find shelter, barricade yourself inside abandoned buildings, set up traps, and hide or defend yourself from the horrors of the Darkwood. Sunless Skies. Here you play the captain of a locomotive, a steam engine fitted for off-rail travel, sailing the stars, leading your crew into trouble and out of their minds, smuggle souls, barter for crates of time, stop for cricket and a cup of vodka, discover more of the deep, dark and marvelous Fallen London universe. Also, if you like this one, check on Sunless Sea as well. You can play either game first, the stories coexist happily, just like vodka coexists with its bottle. bottle. Sunless Sky is a narrative game. All action is just an addition to a bigger story. Be prepared for that. It is a great game with very positive reviews on Steam, but it's meant for a more mature audience who has a lot of free time and can appreciate the game in a slower manner. Keen Seed. You've been given the Keen Seed, a mystical acorn that grows into a family tree where choices manifest in its branches. Raise a family, farm the land, run shops, and explore a world where everyone ages. Yes, here you will live your life in a quirky world where everyone dies at the end, including your pets. What a bright and welcoming idea. Although, you have no reason to be sad, because when you die, you step into the shoes of your children and continue your legacy. And then you die again, and then you continue again. What a great game where death is on every corner, just like in real life nowadays. Darkest Dungeon. This is a challenging, gothic, roguelike turn-based RPG about the psychological stresses of adventuring. When I hear the word gothic, I'm instantly hooked, because a lot of years ago, in my 20s, I was coloring my fingernails in black, wore long coats from the Matrix, and had metal spikes on every part of my body. I was goth, and everything that's gothic is still on my attention radar, even though I am a fat metalhead right now. So, in Darkest Dungeon you recruit, train, and lead a team of flawed heroes through twisted forests, forgotten varants, ruined crypts, and beyond. You'll battle not only unimaginable foes, but stress, famine, disease, and ever-encroaching dark. Uncover strange mysteries and pit the heroes against an array of fearsome monsters with an innovative strategic turn-based combat system. Game may not look like it's a lot of fun, but it is, believe me. Undertale. In this RPG, you control a human who falls underground into the world of monsters. Now you must find your way out, or stay trapped forever. Killing is unnecessary. You can negotiate out of danger using a unique battle system. Here you will find original art and soundtrack brimming with personality, and character-rich story with an emphasis on humor. Although that humor can be a bit annoying, because it's pretentiously naive, and you feel like the writer is mocking you all the time. But the game itself is really original, and if you avoided it somehow, now it's the time to correct this mistake of your life, because in Undertale you can become friends with all the bosses, date a skeleton, and be a friend with many dogs. Game is created mostly by one person, and that is impressive. Graveyard Keeper. Here you can make candles from human fat, burn witches, and even sell mystery meat to the local tavern. We all know that this is human flesh from corpses that you dig up in your free time, but nobody else has to know, right? Graveyard Keeper is the most accurate medieval cemetery management sim of all times, because there are no other medieval cemetery management games. Here you will build and manage your own graveyard and expand into other ventures while finding shortcuts to cut the costs. Use all the resources you can find. After all, this is a game about the spirit of capitalism and doing whatever it takes to build a thriving business. If you have guts, try this game. If not, you can always harvest some from a fresh dead body. Legend of Grimrock 2. This is a dungeon-crawling role-playing game with a modern execution but an old-school heart. A group of 4 prisoners have shipwrecked on the secluded island, which is filled with ancient crumbled ruins, mysterious shrines, and a vast underground network of dungeons and mines. If the prisoners wish to make it out alive, they have to overcome the challenges devised by the ominous mastermind of the island, discover powerful ancient artifacts from hidden secret chambers, and buried treasures, arm your champions, cast spells, and craft enchanted potions and bombs to aid you in fighting the dreadful monsters in highly tactical real-time combat. That's it, my name is Cold Bear, and this is the end of this video. Thank you for watching, consider subscribing to my awesome channel for more videos like that. And now, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.